I found myself by myself for the next 10 hours. And yeah, Malaysia so far has been great, been really kind, people have been really friendly, kind, the food is good, so I'll definitely be back hopefully next year. And hopefully next year I'll do this race again. Thank you.
Is it Dr. Jimmy T yet? It is Dr. Jimmy T. So this is your third race. You won last year. You did the first year as well. But you had a very good race last year. This year you came second. Still fantastic timing. Considering that this year's course was a little bit tougher than last year, I think. Much tougher. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about the difference between this year's course and last year's course, and how did you do so much better this year?
Well, I think this year's course is really much tougher. It's very technical. Last year's course is very much runnable. I think you have a broad trail, whereas this year's course is, in a jungle. You can't really run, and it's really slippery too, especially at a cabbage farm. I think I learned a lot from last year, and I enjoyed myself this year. I was trying to catch Vlad, obviously. I was 3 minutes behind him at the third water station, and then the fourth water station, still 3 minutes, and then became 15 minutes, and then became 25 minutes, and then became 45 minutes, and then became 1 hour plus. Yeah, great run.
Jerry's back for the third year. We always enjoy having Jerry around. He's actually got his own little fan club in Sabah, Team Jerry. Jerry, what do you do? He's posted videos of his previous 2 races in doing the Sabah Adventure Challenge, and those are also extremely popular. Not only among the runners that have done TMBT in the past, but also among locals here, because it's just a lot of fun to watch. You do a lot of multi-sports in the Middle East, and then you combine it with ultra running and long distance running as well. What was different this year compared to, let's say, the first year of the race? I mean, what were the big differences for you as far as the race course was concerned?
I mean, this time it was just a combination of the best parts of the first year and the second year. So it was definitely the toughest of all 3, but it was the most fun. So I really enjoyed this year the most, but also because I somehow had much more strength than the first year, so it was the least struggle and pain. So, but obviously, yeah, it was so. It was first year, first, then second, third, so next year, what? Fourth?
Sorry.
Also more and more, TMBT is becoming more and more famous, so attracting better runners, good runners. So the competition will be, I'm sure, much fierce in the next years. We'll see how it goes. But I really enjoyed it this year. It was the best experience from TMBT so far for me.
Jasmine Low from Singapore. You did well though. I mean, this is your first race. You've done this before? First race. You've done races in Singapore in the past and also overseas. Yeah, no, sort of, maybe, kinda. Alright. Not this guy. What was so different about, let's say, running at McRitchie, obviously? Nothing like this. Well, tell us what happened yesterday. Tell us about what happened yesterday from start to finish. What happened with your race?
To my race. I had fun. I think I was not expecting it to be so difficult. And it really came as a surprise for me, like the river crossing, even the bridge, I had the fear, but then by the 4th bridge I was like an expert. Yeah, the elevation, because obviously we don't have this kind of elevation in Singapore, so yeah, it took a lot out of me. Yeah, but it's a very, very challenging race. That's all I can say. Very difficult.
Debbie Chin is an active runner in Penang. She blogs about her runs. I think you do. She, I think, was one of the winners for the blog competition that we had this year. Penang's got some beautiful trails as well. Great hills. Obviously not as, obviously you don't have a mountain like Mount Kinabalu, but what's your experience been like so far, Debbie?
Boy, this was the hardest race I could ever imagine running. So I've said that about other races before and gone on to do new things anyway, but this was such a tough and challenging race, but very rewarding, very enjoyable. And you know, one of the things that really made it special was the people that I ran with. And I just felt under pressure from the minute we set off. First we were trying to get ahead so we weren't in the backlog to cross the bridge. And then I turned around and I thought I saw a lady coming up and I started running faster. And I kept going as fast as I could, you know. Well, then I said goodbye to Eddie, who I was running with, and then I picked up, and all the way it was like there were new runners coming and each one just helped me to get the most out of my running and really stretch myself. And you know what's really nice about that is you feel like you make all these friends along the way, so it's really special. And at the cabbage patch, we just had the most hilarious time. It was the most icky and gooey and disgusting run that I've ever done in my life. And I think we had the most fun at the cabbage patch because I was running with Hendry at that point, and Hendry and I were just telling lots of jokes and just kind of I was still feeling good then. It didn't last right to the end, but I was then, and it was awesome. And then we got to the end of the cabbage patch and we had the most funny experience because all three of us met up at checkpoint 9 at the end of the cabbage patch. It's like, hi ladies! And so we were all together, and Jasmine was there with her poles, and boy, she did such a great run, and she was very humble, but she was really ahead of us and just really striding along with her poles there, and deserved to come ahead of us, you know, because she had so much strength in her running. But unfortunately she got lost, so she did awesome. But meanwhile, Katya and I were left behind, and we kept each other company, and we just had a lot of fun and helped each other out. I mean, maybe Katya would have been fine without me, but I would not have been fine without Katya. And she helped navigate the course, and she was fun to run with, and we both encouraged each other to pick up pace and not get tired. And you know, honestly, from start to finish, I was pushing really 100% from start to finish, I would say, and it really took 100%, but it was very fun. So thank you, Aman, for all your organisation.
The TMBT Ultra Trail Marathon, this is our 3rd year. It's a relatively new race. Ultra marathons, obviously, relatively new in Asia. We've got some of the best races, I think, in Asia. Mount Fuji, the Vibrant Race in Hong Kong. You know, and there'll be more to come. Indonesia's got some fantastic races coming along, Rinjani and Bromo. So, lots of races to choose from, and the TMBT is one of the many qualifying races around the world for the North Face Ultra du Mont Blanc. Runners have to accumulate 7 points to go into a lottery to try to get a spot in one of the 3 or 4 races each year. So it's a lot of time, effort and dedication that's put forward towards preparing for such a race like this. Katja has just actually finished the UTMB for this year 2 weeks ago, and she's flown out here to do this as well. She did 168 kilometers, is that correct? Yep. And we were able to follow her race as well during the UTMB. And we had a lot of fun here, and Jerome Colson as well, who's not here. But tell us a little bit about what the UTM experience was like. What was it like? Was it what you expected? And because that was the first time you had ever been to Chamonix, from what I understand. And then, what was the race like?
It was a great experience, but probably also because we were super lucky with the weather. It was perfect conditions, and it was. Yesterday I was thinking this morning after the 100K, I couldn't go on for 68 more kilometers in this rain and with these wet shoes and with the blisters and everything. So we were very lucky, I think, and with that it was just enjoyable from the beginning to the finish. The volunteers there, the atmosphere, and obviously it's a great setting around the Mont Blanc. So whoever has the chance to go there, try it. It's just a great race. And for the volunteer, I would also like to say all the volunteers here in TMBT, that's so fantastic. How many volunteers you have, and they are all so nice. So without the volunteers, this race would not be that great. Thanks to all the volunteers who have helped us along the way. Great support.
Right. I'd like to invite Mr. Peter Wong from Color Call Industries